it? Top
pick six most valuable quarterbacks for 2024.
Quarterbacks. All right. So
and
looking
this
back
is
at 2024,
just so everybody knows, this is most valuable. This has nothing to do with best quarterback.
Count end of last season to the postseason of last season, or
2024?
24.
No, it's just 2024 the season.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So let me try and take a guess. Now you have 6 quarterbacks. Huh?
I have 6, Jim. And let's see. I'll give you
valuable.
Hold on. I'll give you 8
guesses.
8 guesses on the 6 that are on the list.
So I got a chance to miss 2. Okay. I'm gonna say Josh Allen.
Yes, he's on the list.
Ding, ding, ding. Number 1. All right, I got one. No, not number 1, but I got one. All right, good.
That's
all right,
that's
so,
one.
All right, so he's on the list. So what? You tell me why. Tell me why. What do you got on there?
Look at the title: most valuable quarterback of this year, which means he's the most valuable to his team. You look at this Bills offense early in the season; they were struggling. But the only bright spot, and they didn't have a number 1 receiver at the time. They had Keon Coleman, a rookie wide receiver, trying to figure out his own way. They had Khalil Shakir, who was the kind of go-to guy. Dalton Kincaid, obviously, at tight end and so forth. They had weapons, but they were struggling on offense. But Josh Allen was the bright spot, was the guy that was carrying the team on his back. When they needed a play, he made it. When they needed a score, he scored it. Like, the guy was running for touchdowns. The guy was throwing for touchdowns, keeping them afloat until they got healthier down the road. So Josh Allen, to me, is definitely one of the most valuable quarterbacks of this year.
Okay. Patrick Mahomes.
And
no, Patrick Mahomes. Really? No. Man, Patrick Mahomes.
How valuable do you think
he's got to be valuable to that
hell
team?
No.
If they don't have Patrick Mahomes, you think Carson Wentz is they've won with Carson Wentz before, but you think if they don't start Patrick Mahomes this week and Carson Wentz is starting for them, you think they still win this week?
I think they still can win. Yes.
And he still has value to that.
Listen, Mahomes isn't the most valuable this year. Look at what he's done.
He's been able to make plays for them.
He's damn near 500 for interception touchdown ratio.
I understand that, but even if you look at the second half of the season, he's corrected things that he's made before
all the time.
He's been able to make opportunities happen just because of his little fake pump fakes, no look passes here that he does.
Not as often as he used to.
So Patrick Mahomes out on that one.
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not. We're talking about most valuable.
So I got one more I could miss. Well, I can still guess after that.
Well, you still can guess after that. Yeah.
Lamar Jackson.
No.
He's not on there? Really?
Nope.
What the hell?
Nope.
What kind of list is this?
Nope.
All right. No,
it's
Lamar
an honest
Jackson.
list. Most valuable quarterback to the team.
Most valuable to their team.
Yep.
Okay. So I did Josh Allen.
You did. You got that right.
Jayden Daniels.
Yes.
Boom. I got one. All right.
Absolutely. Jayden Daniels.
Oh, he's got to be. Especially if you look at the game that he had even this week here. Pretty much a flawless game. That game was going back and forth, and forth. Crazy.
Kudos to Michael Penix, by the way,
absolutely.
Who's been playing well the last couple of weeks. But Jayden Daniels, honestly, like, as a rookie, this is astonishing. This does not happen. I know people are like, oh, well, CJ Stroud did it last year. And, I get it. But this is a rarity. Jayden Daniels, you could argue currently he's the best NFC quarterback in that conference. As a rookie, this dude is outperforming everybody. And whether it be with his legs, whether it be with his throwing arm, this dude has carried Washington, who honestly, nobody in their right mind thought the Commanders had a shot to make the playoffs this year. Nobody. I'm sorry. Even if you're a Commanders fan, you're like, we'll see what we can do, whatever. Jayden Daniels has uplifted this fan base, has carried this Commanders team on his shoulders. And obviously, he has weapons like Terry McLaurin. He has guys to go to. Zach Ertz also kind of making a name for himself once again. But Jayden Daniels has stood out from the rest and is definitely one of the most valuable quarterbacks this year because of what he's accomplished with a team that nobody thought was going to do anything.
All right, so it's funny. All right, so I've already thrown out the kind of bigger names. All right, so I'm going to look at guys that I guess if they were out, all of a sudden they're not playing, they're done, and they've actually carried their team to success. I'm going to guess Baker Mayfield.
Yes.
Baker Mayfield. Absolutely. Because again, without Baker Mayfield, this Tampa Bay team is nothing.
It's in the dark ages.
It's amazing.
It's in the dark ages.
How we were looking possibly for a flash, only just a flash that after post Tom Brady, that this team was going to just be dismantled and terrible. And then here comes Baker Mayfield jumping in and leading this team, and then also having his star receivers go down for a time and still continue to win and get that running game too and going, but really put the team on his shoulders and having it be their true identity all behind Baker Mayfield, I think is truly amazing. And 4,279 passing yards here with a completion percentage of 71.7%.
Pretty darn good.
Absolutely amazing here. Yeah, Baker Mayfield. There you go. So there's two of them.
Yeah, and Baker Mayfield, like, honestly, you think about, and that's why he made the most valuable quarterbacks list, is because think about it for a second. This player was written off by Cleveland. They gave up on the guy, which they're stupid for doing. He finds a home. He went to the Rams for 1 year, played pretty well, not knowing much of the offense, and still did a hell of a job. I think he was there for 1 week and then beat the Raiders that week. He finds a home in Tampa, and he is beloved by everybody, and rightfully so. You think about a team that was going to end up starting Kyle Rask, who has never took over the starting job, and that's what it could have been like. It could have been a complete abomination where the team would have to completely rebuild, try to find the next quarterback, but they lucked out. They bring in Baker Mayfield, and they are off to the playoff race right now. They are on their way to win another division title. So,
all right, going off that same line of thought, I'm going with Sam the Man Darnold.
My guy. Yes, he is. He's on the list.
Yes. And I look at it as just the fact that, again, some people still saying it was like, oh, he was deemed going to be the backup to J.J. McCarthy and this and this. And again, we talked about it in the offseason, what we've been hearing from training camp. He was looking real good. You predicted that he was going to be a starter anyways. And look how he's doing. His best season of his career. First time eclipsing 4,000 yards, 68 throwing percentage here. And how can he not do well in this Kevin O'Connell offense with the weapons that you have? And even you see the difference from first couple weeks where he's just giving it to, hey, Justin Jefferson. I got this guy.
Tunnel vision.
Okay, we're going to double it. We're going to try and stop Justin Jefferson. And we saw it in this last game to where when they played Green Bay, hey, Justin is going to be getting double covered here and there, or people are playing up to it. That actually opened up the different opportunities to TJ Hawkinson or some others here. And he saw that
Jordan
and
Addison
was able to get the ball out and win. So I think, Sam Darnold, that's why I took a guess on that one.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that was one of the more obvious, most valuable quarterbacks this year, because a guy who everybody written off, except for us here at, on the Blitz Nation here with the Blitz boys. We stood up against everybody and said, no, don't be so quick to judge. J.J. McCarthy lost the job before his injury. He lost the job to Sam Darnold. We called that. We called that he was not only going to be a starter, but we also called he was going to win a hell of a lot of games for the Vikings and be in the playoff race. And lo and behold, here we stand. A guy who's on pace, a guy who has lifted this Vikings offense and finally has the support behind him, with Kevin O'Connell believing in him, with this offensive staff, the players around him, the teammates, they love this guy. And they are on record, man. I'm telling you right now, this Vikings team is going to be something to watch for as we get into the playoffs.
All right, now it's going to get a little tougher for me. I've got a few different.
It got tougher for me too,
because I want to try and guess where your mind's at with some of this, because there's a couple quarterbacks here to where it's hit or miss. What you might think,
and honestly, it was very difficult. Now we're down to like two quarterbacks left. It's very difficult.
Yeah, I got two or three. Yes.
There's two left.
Yep.
It's very difficult to try to decipher who's more valuable to their team than the other. There's other quarterbacks that have had very successful seasons, but that doesn't make them. That doesn't make them the most valuable to their team.
Right.
So it's kind of tricky with these last couple.
I'm going to get a couple wrong on this, but just let me keep guessing on
Go
these.
for it, man.
How about Jared Goff?
No.
All right. So you're going to go Justin Herbert.
No.
No, really. Another double loss on that one. Okay. Matthew Stafford.
No.
Really? Dude, I don't know where CJ Stroud?
No.
All right, so I don't know where you're going on any of these then. So I mean, because I don't know what you're guessing on any of these. It can't be
honestly,
Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy's not on here.
No, it's not Brock Purdy.
So what are we even looking at?
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray.
Cardinals.
I think you're smoking something.
No, think about it. Most valuable to their team, Kyler Murray. This team would not even be close to competing, to even staying in games. This is a Cardinals team that we thought early on was going to be kind of walked on throughout for the rest of the league to walk on to. We thought their defense was going to be terrible. We thought that Kyler Murray coming back, we weren't really sure what kind of Kyler Murray we going to see. Is this guy going to be able to uplift this offense with an offensive line that wasn't that great, with a rookie wide receiver out there, Trey McBride in his second year? We didn't know what to expect. This Cardinals team with Kyler Murray, who's leading this team, made them competitive. This team has put up very good games against tough opponents, and Kyler Murray is the guy. Kyler Murray was the guy that's kind of orchestrating this team to keep going. And yes, he's not the best quarterback in the league for sure.
Yeah.
But he's the most valuable quarterback to his team. Absolutely.
I could see that, I guess, their team, because again, it will, just like that team has always been, they live and die by Kyler Murray. Whatever they go, which way his wind blows is where it goes. But again, stat line, yeah, like 50-50.
You can't look at stat line.
It's like still, I know it not. Yeah, but still, the team's not even going anywhere. So I mean, what value is there? You know what I mean?
Think about this
played
team
a little better. They were
example.
like they were a nice story for a little bit, but nothing crazy. So I think that's a reach on that one. But
I don't think it's a reach.
It's your list,
at all.
though, whatever.
I mean, we're talking about most valuable quarterbacks, not most successful quarterbacks.
No, I get that, but still valuable. I named off a bunch of valuable guys. You're telling me that if you don't have Matthew Stafford on that team, he's injured, they're winning still?
Depends who their quarterback
is. And what
is.
the Rams are doing right now, Rams are making that push for that division. Like I called a couple weeks ago when you said that the Cardinals were going to do it. Cardinals haven't done squat. It's been the Rams, and it's all led by Matthew Stafford.
No, I mean, he's got some great weapons to go with. That offensive line is finally healthy. Like, Stafford's a really good quarterback, but is he really the most valuable quarterback to his team?
20 touchdowns, 8 picks. That's a lot
you're
better
looking at
than
stats again.
But still,
you're
the way
that's not what this list is about.
Compared to what he's doing to Kyler Murray.
Not even close.
If you put Kyler Murray and Matthew Stafford together, Matthew Stafford's a greater quarterback, and then even the value to his team. If they don't have Stafford, they don't win. Kyler Murray, yeah, they might win, but they're going to lose maybe too because they're not a very good team.
That's not true at all. You're talking.
No,
you're trying to compare stats and stuff. That's not what this is about.
The team
Stafford's a good quarterback, no doubt about it.
Murray
but Stafford isn't the most valuable to his team.
Kyler Murray gives the Cardinals a chance to win.
If you put Kyler Murray in with the Rams, Kyler Murray does way better.
No, I don't think so.
If you look at the team around him,
if you put Matthew Stafford on the Cardinals, they are a playoff team.
No, not at all.
From what they are right now,
no,
yes,
they're not.
Absolutely. And he's going to be.
You're talking about a guy who's mobile with Kyler Murray, who can get out of trouble
nonstop.
Absolutely not.
To Marvin Harrison Jr.
You're insane.
Those two are going to be in bed together.
You're insane.
It's going to be Calvin Johnson and him back together.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
It would be.
You are crazy,
no way, dude.
Stafford would listen. You put Stafford in with the Cardinals right now, right?
Yes.
With a weaker offensive line, an offensive line that has given up a ton of pressure, and you want this guy to outrun people? No, he's going to get sacked more often. Kyler Murray could get away and still make a play. That's the difference. If you put Kyler Murray with the Rams offensive line with those weapons, with that running back, are you insane, dude? Of course that Rams team will be successful with Kyler Murray there. Like that, if we're going to switch roles like that, like, yeah, no way Stafford will be as successful with that team. No way.
Joe, they do have a guy, named James Conner that's also has over 1,000 yards rushing on that team, though, too.
True.
And they also have a guy named Trey McBride. I think, again, Trey McBride's still going to light it up. If you have Marvin Harrison Jr. there, too, as well. Matthew Stafford's going to see that. Handing off to James Conner, you still have a running game. You don't need Kyler Murray for that running game.
You do.
Even though you have a terrible offensive line, like you're saying. But still, they're 7th overall in running. Yeah. 17th,
because they run all the time.
So they have the ability to run 7th overall in rushing yards, 9th in touchdowns in rushing. They can still run without him. So you have that running game. You have Matthew Stafford. You're going to do better than what you are with Kyler Murray.
No way.
Okay.
No.
Right. Well, we're still getting onto the list.
No
all right.
way.
So you got Kyler Murray on your list somehow.
No way.
All right. So that's
crazy.
That's 4 that I have right there. There's Kyler Murray. All right. So let me keep whiffing on guesses here on your astronomical list, which is crazy.
Not crazy at all.
A few of people.
Not crazy
There's
at all.
somebody I haven't guessed yet too, but I'm saving him for last.
No, this is about most valuable, not statistics or better quarterback.
A bunch of different people. So, man, Jordan Love?
No, not at all.
Tua?
No.
All right. Joe Burrow.
Yes.
Obviously, Joe Burrow is. I
Burrow.
I had to call in my lifeline. I go, Joe Burrow's obviously there.
You went way over your limit for guesses.
I did, because I'm mind blown. You have blown my mind in this list.
Because you're thinking about it in the wrong context.
I got to figure out who's more valuable.
Most valuable quarterback in 2024 I mean, it's not about stats. It's not about who the best quarterbacks are.
Who's
it's about guys that uplift
Drew
their
Lock
teams.
Your next most valuable quarterback?
Absolutely not.
Seriously, bro.
Absolutely not. You're being ludicrous right now.
Well, who's the other guy on your list before I get to Joe Burrow?
You just said Joe Burrow.
I did.
That's the end of the list.
No, that's only 5.
That's 6 guys.
No, it isn't. I said Josh Allen.
You said Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen, Darnold, Jayden Daniels, Kyler Murray, and Joe Burrow.
Did I say Jayden
That's
Daniels?
6.
Oh, yeah, I did say Jayden Daniels, did I? All right, that is 6. You're right. All right, so Joe Burrow said Joe Burrow was the last one. Huh.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so I agree with your list until Kyler Murray then. So it's not
fine.
It's not a terrible list.
No, it's a great
Kyler
list.
Murray's. Kyler Murray is the one that doesn't is a head scratcher for me.
You got
but Joe Burrow, obviously,
they don't have anything without Kyler Murray. That team isn't even competitive this year without Kyler Murray. It's not.
I would not go.
Absolutely not. Come on,
I
dude.
would not go
you
that
look at that roster, and we told it before the season started. This team wasn't going to be much of anything.
Right.
It wasn't.
And maybe it's the coach.
No, it's not the coach, bro.
Staff. They got a new coach. Kyler Murray's been there, and
if that's what you say, it was the coach, right? So when Kyler Murray was out last year, they didn't do squat.
They had a different coach.
They didn't do squat. Without Kyler Murray, they didn't do squat because he's that important to the team.
And they didn't do squat this season.
They were well more competitive this season than we ever thought they would be. This is a team that we even came close to being in the playoff race. Are you kidding me? That don't make no sense, bro. This is the most valuable quarterback to this team, Kyler Murray.
All right, this could be even the most viral part right here.
This is insane, dude. I cannot believe that you can't see this.
The fact that you think that Kyler Murray is one of the most valuable quarterbacks in the NFL to his team, I think is crazy. So
insane that you think that.
Well, I think it's insane that you think that.
How, dude? We just went over this. This is a roster that was not even expected to win any games. This is a team we wrote off before week 1 even started. Kyler Murray and this team with him coming back healthy. Are you freaking nuts? Kyler Murray, this makes all the sense in the world.
Oh man, that's good stuff. Oh man, that is
boy. That escalated quickly.
It did.
I mean, that really got out of hand.
And maybe to quote another Anchorman thing, when in Rome, we'll just move on to the next thing. So yeah, okay, there you go. So there you go. There's your pick 6 most valuable QBs. Even though we disagreed with just Kyler Murray, but everything else I agree with. I get that. And Joe Burrow, we will talk about his greatness in just a second here, because again, there's maybe many questions here what he's been able to do with this team, because that defense hasn't been very good. Yes, you've had Trey Hendrickson, who's been able to lead the league in sacks and stuff like that, but basically been an outlier within that defense who's been giving up points to the way this offense has to keep scoring. It's all sort of like we've seen now with the Lions of late, how that defense has kind of struggled because of injuries. had to keep putting up points to be competitive to win some games. Joe Burrow been able to dish the ball out. And the thing is, maybe the fact that he's been able to have all of his weapons together. You got T. Higgins healthy, so he's there. Jamar Chase, you know what I mean? To be able to dish it out. And when you don't have a strong running game, the air game is going to take over, and what these guys have been able to do.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, too, is like their run game never did anything until Chase Brown was the starter, named the starter. Like when they finally moved on from Zach Moss, who, I'm sorry, I didn't understand the signing to begin with. I didn't understand why they labeled him as a starter right away. But Chase Brown, as a rookie, was definitely had way more potential, had way more going for him. And when he got on the football field and showed all of that on the field, it was all over. Even Bengals fans were like, wow, this dude is amazing. He catches the ball in the backfield. He can run between the tackles, outside, inside, all of that, and make plays. And that's when the kind of the offense kind of even opened up even more, is when they finally let Chase Brown run the ball.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, but Joe Burrow, what he's been able to do, the stat line. You got a stat line there? What he's you had a bunch.
Well, Joe Burrow, honestly, I'm gonna say it right now, best quarterback in the NFL. Like he is.
Yeah, 4,641
and
yards,
people,
42 touchdowns,
here's
8 INTs. I know I've been enthralled with Josh Allen and what he's been able to do, because you see even in those high weather games, he's got a receiving touchdown. Technically, he's got a running touchdowns. He's got passing touchdowns. But holy crap. Now you actually focus and look at what, and I know stats aren't always everything and stuff like that. And I get that. And I get even the fact that he has T. Higgins, he has Jamar Chase, but holy crap, for this team that is even missing the playoffs right now and has that opportunity to still get in, and what he's doing is lighting it on fire, and the you know, again, not turning the ball over. And if you look at attempts, that's the thing too. When a quarterback makes 600 passing attempts and not having more than 10 interceptions, it's astronomical. And the touchdown ratio, 42. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is like you also got to take into consideration too the fact that his O-line has been playing less than average. Throughout the course of the season,
they're not very good.
No, less than average. We're talking about less than average. A team throughout the whole year. I understand everybody goes through the injury bug and all that, but teams are overcoming it. Look at the Detroit Lions; they're overcoming injuries like crazy. The Bengals, even when they're healthy, they're not doing their jobs. And then the defense on top of it, like you mentioned before, is absolutely awful. So Joe Burrow and this offense have to either outscore opponents to win games or tie them up every time they get a chance. Not to mention the other key thing for Joe Burrow this year, unlike past years, is that he's being more mobile, using his legs more to create extra time, to allow the receivers to get open, a little bit longer, so that way he can throw the football down the football field, or he just flat out takes off. This is a guy who isn't seen as a mobile quarterback, but my God, this guy's got wheels, and we don't get to see it too often, but once in a while we are, and this year we definitely are. Guy that has, like you mentioned, most passing yards in the league, most passing touchdowns in the league, 5th in completion percentage with 69.8, leads in attempts, like you said, 606, leads in completed passes, 423, bottom 10 in interceptions with 8, and he has the 3rd highest quarterback rating. How could you not think that this guy is the best right now currently in the NFL? Is beyond me. This dude is absolutely amazing, and it should be all known.
Yeah, I mean, agree.
Do we dare say, because the conversation has been, some people like, oh, well, does Burrow maybe possibly get into the conversation of MVP? And I think it's warranted.
Yeah.
It has to be, right?
It has to be warranted, and you don't always have to be on a winning team, which I get.
That's the bad part right there.
Right, because if you're looking at, it's kind of the counteract of what you're talking about with your Kyler Murray. Because again, the Bengals were expected to kind of try and get back to the playoffs,
right?
Be a playoff team.
Yeah.
They're sitting there at 8-8. The Cardinals 7-9, so they're around 500 still, same type of thing on the outside looking in. and you get overshadowed because of that. The fact that you're not able to lift your team up to higher, expectations or whatever to get in there. But I think that's the surprising thing with Joe Burrow and this team, though, is the fact that he has to keep doing this every year, or probably every year too. He's been on average sacked probably 40 something times this season. I know this year he's already on 44. His second year in the league, sacked 51 times. Oof. So, I mean, he's consistently getting hit and sacked, and they've tried to focus on this offensive line to help that out, and just had limited success, and kind of getting overshadowed just because of some of these other teams. Lamar Jackson with Baltimore, 11-5 right there. Josh Allen, 13-3. They're winning. Here they are. Philadelphia, Jalen Hurts, even too, there they are. Jayden Daniels, 11-5. You're seeing all this. This is the flashiness,
but we're not
getting overshadowed here. And Joe Burrow, as long as he's been healthy, has been MVP status and made that team playoff, ready.
What we're saying is that we're not saying that Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson don't deserve to be in the MVP conversation, because they are having great years too. But Joe Burrow's name should come up as well. And that debate has to be had. It really does. Yeah. Because when you have all these quarterbacks having great years, now it comes the part where you have to nitpick a little bit. Well, Josh Allen runs the ball in for touchdowns more often, and that's why they're winning games. Or, Lamar Jackson, whenever he gets in trouble, he just takes off for 60 yards and gets a first down or scores. Right. Like Joe Burrow as a quarterback in this NFL, he looks to throw before any kind of running opportunity. And obviously, with the most attempts, the most completed passes, and the most yards, most touchdowns, that's got to speak volumes as a quarterback. I know it's a stat and not everything is a stat, but dude, this guy plays at just a whole other level. When the times get tough and it's getting down to crunch time, you got a minute left, 2 minutes left. He just seems to make things happen. And people are going to argue, and they're going to say, yeah, but he's got T. Higgins and he's got Jamar Chase, and that's why he can get away with something. Yeah, but he still has to make the throws. Yeah. It's so all we're saying is that, Joe Burrow needs to be talked about a little bit more. Right. He's definitely got to be the best quarterback. It's almost so now that people are starting to take notice, because now at 8-8, if they sneak into the playoffs, they're that dark horse team, because they were talking about it again. Now, if Buffalo at this lower seed, if they go in and Cincinnati beats in, Buffalo does not want to see the Bengals the first round going into this playoffs, because they can easily get knocked off just like that. Yeah. And there you go. Playoffs is different too. It's a whole other season. Once teams have ingrained their spots before in the playoffs, everybody's play level heightens. Like everybody plays much better. You might even see what the funny thing is if the Bengals make it, you might even see the defense play a little bit better than what we've seen. Yep. So it's one of those weird, quirky things in NFL playoffs, but it may in fact happen. We'll see. Absolutely, Joe. And again, if you guys haven't yet, make sure you guys go to YouTube, search Grumblings Media, and you can find us there along with a bunch of other great shows, points on the board. Ours is obviously the best, though, so make sure you look for the Blindside Blitz there. Hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, any of the videos here, the shorts that we're putting out there, we appreciate you guys liking the videos, share them, and then also subscribe off of them. That helps us out. That helps everybody here. Yeah, we really appreciate it. I haven't checked yet, but our the Grumblings Media channel, it was very close to 4,000 subscribers. We might have eclipsed it. I haven't checked it, but keep it coming. For a 30-second video on our Kirk Cousins clip that we did. Yep, the short there. 38, I think, so far, subs just off of that 30-second clip. So that's like a huge sub success per second. Yeah. So success. I really appreciate that. So thank you so much. Thank you guys so much for the support. Yeah.
Hey everybody, this is Big John from Grumblings Media, and I just want to say thank you for watching our content. If you want to support our efforts here at Grumblings Media, just smash the subscribe button right here, totally free, or just go ahead and consume more of our great content. Click either one of these two boxes.